Fifth Hour Radio Show.
You know, Steve, first of all, what turned you on to music enough that, you know, you wanted to be the one playing it as well as listening to it?
Long story short, when I was about 6 years old, I saw Chuck Berry on television, and I was just kind of infatuated with the whole thing. And before then, I wasn't interested in music at all. My parents weren't musically inclined. I mean, nobody in the family. I was just rather attracted to it. And then, ironically, several months after that, again, I was in first grade, I had a guy by the name of Walt Nick. He came in, and he was a guitar instructor, and he just kind of did an exhibition, you know, for children. And basically, it sounds kind of cheesy, but he was very nice to me. So it just kind of, you know, it interested me. He was nice. I just saw Chuck Berry, and well, that would be kind of cool. Let's play guitar. So I basically played guitar, and of course, he was my instructor for a lot of years. I played guitar for a couple of years, and then a couple of years after that, and ended up switching over to drums. So that's actually how I kind of got into the whole music industry.
So what was it about the drums that turned you on so much? You know, as opposed, you know, you started off on guitar. Why switch to drums?
Well, I actually met a guy by the name of Dave Queen. I was probably in third or fourth grade at the time, and he was actually a drummer / guitar player. And we kind of had our first band together. You know, we would play Kiss songs and, you know, just the standard stuff. And then after rehearsals, we would practice on songs. And after practice, you know, he would show me just one or two, you know, little drum beats, nothing really hard. But then after several months of that, I just found that I enjoyed that a lot more than playing guitar. So we basically ended up switching, and he became the guitar player, and I became the drummer.
So did you pick up on the drums pretty naturally?
I actually did. Yeah, it wasn't very difficult. I'm not trying to imply that I was good. I don't mean that, you know. But it wasn't a real struggle for me. No, it was pretty easy.
Now I understand you didn't start incorporating your mad drummer moves until after you joined up with Rick Kay and the All Nighters. At what point did you decide that you wanted, you know, your style of playing to be just as much entertaining visually for the listener during your live show?
Well, that was actually kind of twofold, because every band that I was in prior to Rick's band was very, very heavy stuff. A lot of things like Slayer, Anthrax, Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, you know, Judas Priest. That was really my background. And with the bands that I had played with before Rick, a lot of the showboating stuff. I mean, it came very naturally because, you know, at that time, you know, I was very much into guys like Keith Moon, Tommy Lee, you know, Stan Larkin from Rothschild, which is now with Godsmack, you know, that kind of drummer. So then whenever I got with Rick, the songs weren't really, really challenging necessarily. So as a way to kind of spice it up, I would just kind of start doing some of my old moves that I had done from back in the day. But we just found a way to spin it. And instead of making those moves so brutal, you know, we kind of made them, you know, kind of funny, you know, and kind of lighthearted and easy. So it worked out really, really well, man. And people just, you know, they automatically liked it. And, you know, with anything, you know, when you look in the audience and someone points and smiles, you immediately go, oh, okay, I got it. So you just kind of expand on that.
Well, how did the band react when you started pulling out your moves on them?
The very first time was a bit unusual because, again, they weren't really accustomed to that. You know, but again, Rick, he's a very, very good businessman. He really, really is. You know, he's an excellent salesman. You know, so even though it wasn't him, and a lot of singers, to be quite honest with you, would really disapprove of that. You know, because and not just because of me or because I'm a drummer, but a lot of singers, if they have a guitar player that's a little too flashy, they don't really like that. You know what I mean? Or if they have a keyboard player that looks too good, they don't like that. Whatever it is, you know, that's the truth. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to like come down on singers, but it really is the truth. Though a lot of singers, they have a huge ego, and that's really a problem for them. Where with Rick, you know, the same thing. He looked at the audience. He immediately noticed that people liked it. So right away he went, oh, okay, this is great. This is golden. Let's run with this. So he immediately started to incorporate the things that I do, and started to infuse it into his show and the kind of presentation that he likes to have. We just automatically started to find a way to kind of meld the two together. So he was great with it. Yeah, he never. I mean, I've been with Rick a lot of years, and we've never had any ego clashes or people are looking at you and not looking at me. I mean, it works out really well.
When you're doing these moves like this, I mean, you're doing some pretty complicated physical stuff. I mean, have you ever had a mishap and like a drumstick fly off and hit somebody, or how many drumsticks do you keep, like a big bag of drumsticks beside you? Or?
Yes, I do actually. I have a pretty good size of them. They're just attached to my floor tom in a leather bag, and generally I'll dump about 3 or 4 sticks a night. I mean, overall, sometimes more, sometimes less, but I usually lose about 3 or 4 of them. But I haven't had any major injuries. But I honestly, I've smacked myself in the mouth a lot. I really have, and that's not so good, But you just kind of giggle about it and go on.
Well, let's talk about the video. This drummer is at the wrong gig. Did you know the person doing the video, or was that a surprise to find yourself on YouTube receiving so much attention?
Well, the way that happened actually is someone had filmed the video originally, and they actually came out. They were just someone else at a show that we had done in Eaglesburg, Pennsylvania, and there were actually lots of videos from lots of different people that had been filmed that day. And again, it was just a fair day, nothing special. We do about 200 shows a year, so it was just another day. And someone filmed it, and the video itself, the original video, it kind of basically sat idle on YouTube for a couple years. It had a couple thousand hits, and I think the title of it was something like, I don't know, Rick K and the All-Nighters, or Rick K with Crazy Drummer. I mean, something, pretty simple. And then about 2 or 3 years later, some different person re-uploaded the video, but he titled it, This Drummer's at the Wrong Gig. And then, of course, when he uploaded the video with that title, it immediately went viral within like a week or so. So a lot of it, honestly, I mean, I don't take a lot of the credit. A lot of it had to do simply with the title of the video, because again, the original video, it had been up for a couple of years. It was really the title, that kind of at least got people's immediate attention and made them watch the video.
So did you feel any pressure to perform once everyone knew your name and expected you to do your thing each and every night? Were you feeling like a rock star, I guess?
And that's actually a really good question, because the answer to that is absolutely, but times 100, because we do a lot of shows. Again, we do about 200 shows a year, and we do a lot of fair and festival dates through the spring and the summer, but through the fall and the winter, we take it a little easy. We'll do some corporate events, and do a lot of casinos and things like that. And a lot of those shows, you'll be playing like on a Tuesday and Wednesday, and it'll be really late at night. And once in a while, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm being lazy, I don't mean it like that, but it's just the things I do, it hurts. I'm not trying to sound like a sissy, but it does. I mean, it really truly takes a serious toll on your shoulders. So, sometimes I'll be playing a show, and it won't be a really large show, and you'll kind of think in the back of your mind, it's kind of late, and I'm just going to take it easy tonight. I'm just going to kind of let my shoulders heal a little bit. And it never fails. The minute you do that, about 10 minutes before the show, a couple walks up to you. They'll come backstage. They'll say, me and my husband saw your video, and we drove 4.5 hours just to see you tonight. They're like, damn,
I mean, has there been any...
I'm sorry?
Has there been any shows where you just said, you know what, I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm just going to straight play?
There's been so many times that I've wanted to do it, but I never have. I mean, I every night that we play, I pretty much give it everything that I can. That doesn't mean that I go crazy in every single song. You know what I mean? There's songs where I'm supposed to do it, and then there's songs where I kind of lay back a little bit. But as far as what I do, no, I pretty much give it 100% every night, because, again, I don't care if there's 10 people in the audience or if there's 1,000. Those people, they came out and they paid money to see you, period. And they scheduled, time in their calendar to come out and catch a show. And the bottom line, you owe it to them. I know that sounds like a cookie cutter thing to say, but it's really the truth. You owe it to them.
Do you name your tricks? Do you have like names for them, or?
You know, I haven't actually named a lot of them, but most of them actually kind of do have names simply because of other people. You know, and of course, obviously, everyone says the windmill move. You know that was just ripped straight from Pete Townsend from the Who, obviously. And then of course, everyone always likes the robot thing. And then the really, really big, the big figure 8 thing that everyone seems to like so well, we've kind of nicknamed that one the fly swatter.
I like the best one. The best one I've heard so far, in my opinion, is one of the comments on the video. It says your move is called "Release the Kraken."
yeah, that was come up quite a bit. Yep, sure has.
Well, what cool things have happened for you because of the popularity of this video? That probably wouldn't have happened without it.
Oh, everything. Honestly, because I've been doing this again. I started when I was 6 years old, and it's not like I'm the kind of person that had a gig at Walmart. I played music, a couple times a month. No, I've been all in, since I've been 6 years old. So I've been doing it every single day with every bit of passion and every bit of energy that I had, and it's only been the last 3 years where things have finally exploded. So I attribute everything to that video. I really, really do. So a lot of the stuff that's happened, I've met just everybody in the industry. I've met everybody from Steel Panther to Slayer. I mean, you name it. I mean, I've met everyone. As far as endorsements, I've gotten just loads of incredible endorsements. I've been all over the world now. I've been to Germany. I was on television in Germany on TV Total. We did a small tour of Russia. Got to see Red Square and all of those kind of things. I played the Belgium Drummers Festival with Mike Portnoy. Just on and on and on. I was obviously on television on NBC, on The Office. I actually did another video project that I'm not allowed to discuss yet. It's actually going to be out in about a week or so. But I just got back from L.A. doing that project just a couple weeks ago. So just a massive amount has opened up because of the video.
We know that drumming is your passion and love, man. But other than music, what do you enjoy doing? You got any hobbies or TV shows, or do you cook? I mean, do you skateboard, ride bikes? You got a hobby that you do when you're not beating the skins?
It's really pathetic because there's not a thing. I mean, there's nothing. I do it 24/7. I love it. I absolutely love it. If I'm not actually playing drums, I'm either on YouTube watching other drummers. I'm reading Modern Drummer magazine. I'm listening to CDs. Something. I'm shining cymbals. I'm going to concerts. I just love drumming. I just love it. So there's really nothing else that I do. I mean, I either play drums or I sit on the couch and watch Law and Order.
Hey, do you think you'll still be able to do these moves when you're about 70?
Oh, we'll see, man. I don't know. I certainly hope it. I don't know, though. It's looking rough.
Where can our listeners go to get more information about you, man, as far as social media, website, stuff like that?
The easiest one is just my website, and that's just simply themaddrummer.com. And then, of course, that'll take you to the YouTube pages and the Twitter accounts and the Facebook page. And everything's on the website, themaddrummer.com.
Well, Steve, man, thanks for taking time out of your Sunday evening to talk to us, man. We really appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you getting in touch with me, man. It's been a blast.
All right, man. We look forward to seeing more of your stuff.
All right, man. You have a great day.
You too. Goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye.
The 25th Hour Radio Show.